I've been watching MSI like everyone else, and there's one pattern that makes me depressed every time. If I see Kalista in the draft, whether she's picked or banned, I immediately ask myself, why? She provides no impact, no value, and yet she keeps getting prioritized. So today, let's slow down and really ask, why Kalista is even here? Why do teams keep putting faith in a champion that clearly isn't working? Let's start with what Kalista is meant to be. Her design is built around early aggression, low range but high tempo. You pick her to win lane, secure early dragons and catch people out of nowhere. She is also uniquely good at starting fights. Her ultimate turns any support into an engage tool, which in theory should give your comp a lot of flexibility. She is designed as a strong early game champion. So if you are drafting for a fast-paced, proactive game plan, Kalista should fit in perfectly, in theory. Now, here's the problem. Theory doesn't always survive contact with reality. Kalista wants to be this lane-dominant, early-game monster, but in the current meta, she is constantly banging into walls. And the biggest one is range. Her range is extremely short, both for her abilities and autos. That means she is outranged by almost every other meta ADC, especially if teams are trying to counter-pick. Varus, Caitlyn, Ashe, even Ezreal to some extent, they all get to play the game from a distance Kalista simply can't reach. And those are only ADCs, while supports and mid laners can also pick high-range champions and make Kalista's life basically miserable. So instead of dominating lane, she often finds herself getting poked out or zoned from waves entirely. And when that happens, when Kalista doesn't win lane, the entire pick falls apart. She doesn't scale well, she doesn't have meaningful DPS in extended fights, she doesn't offer reliable wave clear, she just exists. And not in a helpful way. It's also worth pointing out her current state in the patch. Kalista is objectively weak right now. She has one of the lowest win rates among ADCs, around 46%. Yeah, the ceiling is still there. Kalista can look good in pro players' hands. But do you really think that one of the weakest champions in Soloq will randomly be OP in pro play? I don't think so, and the results show it. What confuses me the most is how often teams blind pick her. Kalista is not a blind pick. She never was. She is a matchup-dependent champion that needs clear lane priority. And yet, we keep seeing teams first picking her or grabbing her early in the rotation without knowing their matchup. And then what happens? The enemy takes Ashe or Varus or Ezreal, champions that completely shut her down with range and control. And suddenly, Kalista can't lane, can't pressure, and have to swap away when she's supposed to win the lane. Then the team is losing objectives that they're supposed to get with Kalista, and all her value is basically non-existent. To make things worse, teams often feel obligated to pair her with Renata, which has become something of a default combo in pro drafts. But when you really think about it, it doesn't make much sense. Renata wants to play slow, reactive fights. She excels when the enemy dives in, and you punish them for overcommitting. But Kalista is designed for starting fights, for forcing engages, not waiting for them. So instead of a combo, you're looking at two champions that wanna do completely different stuff. Of course, they both have AoE CC, so it's not as bad. Yet, it just sucks when champions are not on the same page, especially at such a level of play. Now, I'm not saying Kalista is unplayable. There are situations where she can actually look good. For example, if you see a mostly melee enemy composition and guaranteed a winning bot lane matchup, then yes, Kalista can absolutely work. But those situations are rare, and even when they do line up, there are just better options right now. Caitlyn gives you strong lane and way better scaling, and Kog'Maw tears through melees and gets prior really easily. So when I see teams banning Kalista, I can't help but laugh a little. Let the other team pick her. Seriously, you're not denying a strong pick, you basically let them lose the game for themselves. It's one of the freest win conditions in the draft right now. Kalista might look flashy on paper, but she is just weak right now, and there is no point in picking or banning her. If you want to see what the actual best and blindable picks are in bot lane, make sure to check out the next video right here. Like, subscribe and drop a comment if you enjoyed the video. Bye!